Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Chats with my boy Payne. And today in studio we've got Jimmy Nate. What's up, my brother?
I'm okay, man. I'm a guest on this show, so I'm happy to be here.
You're happy to be here, man. You've been sharing your opinions ever since the first episode. I'm glad to have you. You're very opinionated, so let's see what you have for us on the show today.
Let's see you, Jimaro.
Let's see you, Jimaro.
Let's see.
Speaking of which, let's start with the Bafana game. We lost 5-0. It was a thumping, like we said it was going to be. You were advocating for the French team going for a full-on squad. No exceptions, playing Mbappe, play Pogba, and they did exactly that.
I mean, on the last show, this said it was a thumping, and I didn't want a thumping. I really didn't want a thumping. I thought the Brazil were really going to play, but out of the goals that they conceded, the Mbappe one was quality. The rest was just clumsy mistakes. Yo, Braz, like even our play, like we could not play. We were really scared.
Speaking of which, I think they lacked like game intelligence, which basically means knowing what to do in a certain area of the field.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, I think you have to look at their previous match against Guinea.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't really convert
their chances.
Yeah, convert their chances. Okay, they played okay. They were comfortable in the match. You know,
they were playing on the transition.
Yeah.
You look at, I mean, the stats were like 19 shots and I think 7 on target, which shows that they were really in the game.
Yeah.
But then when it came to France, when it came to the big boys,
That's what I'm about to say. Guinea, France, World Cup winning France. Come on.
it's a different.
Yeah, it's a different. I think they should have just switched maybe the tactical, things,
But
especially the defense.
But he did, because in the game against Guinea, he played with the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
And in this game, he played with the 4-3-3. So you can see that he did switch up things, but I think he got his formation of players wrong. I would have played Mokoena in that holding. I would have played Shandu in Mokoena's position. I would have taken Vala out.
Yeah, and Vala seemed like the weakest link in the squad, to be honest.
Okay, but is Foyler or is it Foster up front? Was it Foster?
Sure, Lyle Foster.
So he can't really hold up the ball. What's your outlet? I mean, what's your outlet after that?
I mean,
Mohope is on the bench.
Yeah, Mohope, but our first option is Lyle because of the experience that he gets from playing in Europe. He's been in Europe.
Okay.
So,
but you need a big guy.
No, ideally, he had his chances. He held up the ball a few times whenever he could. But if you can't hold up the ball as our first option, defensively, we need to be set up well. Now we have Braz making memes out of Moby because he's running after Mbappe. We all memes. 100-meter Mbappe, no way.
But what does this say? I mean, we went there. We went to Europe for the first time in a very long time. We played Guinea, same old result, a draw, and then we went up against like the big boys. Like we went up against the World Cup winning France, got thumped 5-0. But what was your takes from the game in terms of mentality, the players' reaction to the goals, and because you look at the first goal, McKay was kind of smiling and laughing. You look at the end of the game, who's this Mohopa taking the selfie, the picture with evidence. Did you really like that, or
I mean, with the goal, man, I think. At the end of the day, I want to say soccer players are people too. At the end of the day, they get amazed by great goals. But at the time, it was funny, my man.
Do your job.
It was funny. Like hide it for a bit. I don't mind taking the pictures. I mean, who wouldn't mind a picture?
Okay.
Let's be honest. Who wouldn't mind a picture?
Honestly,
we lost, yes, but
even if I was there, I probably would have done it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You take your picture, and then you back to the drawing board. You go home.
But did we actually learn anything from this match?
I think there's a lot to learn. We got thumped 5-0. I'm glad it was 5-0. To a certain extent, I'm glad it was 5-0.
Why were you glad?
It shows us that we have a lot to work on. We need to stop. We need to cancel games against Botswana, against Lesotho, against Namibia. Cancel those games. Cancel. Even if you have to play Ivory Coast in Europe, let's go.
Jimmy, you seem like you don't agree with the whole aspect that we learned anything from
Yeah, I mean,
adventures in
from the
Europe.
game, it's very difficult to see what we actually learned. I mean, all these players, they're not expected to win every single match. Okay, in South Africa, in the PSL. So you go to Europe, and then all those players, Real Madrid, Man United, where the pressure's on consistently. But I mean, they're still gonna do the same thing when they come back home.
You think it's not gonna be any different in the mentality?
I mean, unless if you play in Africa in the CAF Cup, maybe there's a difference in mentality and there's a difference in type of game management and all those things. But then, if you're only playing South African football, I mean,
it's not gonna change.
But
unless you're playing in, week out, and then
no, I mean,
then you learn sort of like.
No, I mean, I'm thinking it's based on every country has a league.
Yeah.
You can select players in your league to play for the national team.
Yeah.
If you can get players abroad, good. But with what we have, our PSL is what we have. It's the main thing in South Africa. So we're gonna take players from the PSL, we're gonna take players from Europe, good. But the loss that happened, it had to happen. We picked up from the football side of it, we picked up a lot. There's a lot that we need to work on. Physicality, mentality, there's a lot that we need to work on.
Were they the best players in Africa? I mean, South Africa?
Currently,
all of them.
Currently, I think he got his.
There's Morena who's out.
There's Moreno's out.
And then there's Jale in the midfield.
You can argue Jale, you can argue
Temba
Zwane, but you could say to a certain extent those were the best players in terms of trying to change Bafana. Yeah, those are the best players he can put out. But to end the Bafana chat, I think the only way we can actually see that we learn something from this game is if we can continuously play these games. And that means competing at the highest level, achieving CAF qualification, playing CAF, achieving World Cup qualification, playing the World Cup. And then speaking of the World Cup, the draw was yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you gentlemen saw it. It seemed like it was kind of designed that the big teams don't verse each other in the early stages of the tournament. What do you think about the draw?
Well, it was a bit, it was okay, but the opening matches aren't that attractive,
I think in the opening matches, the attractive ones, you look at Group C, you have Mexico and Argentina, and then you look at also Group E, where you have Spain and England. But then, other than that, is there any interesting games in the group stage?
Well, you expect the top teams to go through, to be honest. I mean, because if you look at the groups, there's not much comparison in terms of attacking quality and midfield holder play and all those things,
Yeah.
So you expect the top teams to actually go through.
Speaking of which, let's look at the groups. You look at Group A, where you have Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands, and Qatar. Qatar, I feel like they're gonna pull South Africa. They're gonna be knocked out in Group A, and then it's gonna be no. These are simple facts. These are simple.
Okay.
No. It's facts. I hear you.
These are simple facts.
I hate that he said it's gonna pull us South Africa.
Oh, but
I understand we're the first host ever to not make it out of the group stage. I understand.
Yeah, let them join us too. Pull us South Africa, and then we have in Netherlands and Senegal going through.
Yeah, I mean, I expect Senegal to actually go through. I mean, they should get to at least.
Speaking of Senegal, how do you guys feel about Mane doing the double over Salah? I mean, you knock it, you beat him in the AFCON, and then in the World Cup qualifier, you knock him out again. Look, you said soccer players are human beings at the end of the day. Don't you think Salah just doesn't even want to look at Sadio Mane right now like, this guy. We play for the same team, we battle him for the similar position, we play in the same continent, we are going head to head. What do you think?
There's nothing much to think of it. Over to you. Guys, you're more. Let's not overthink it. Like, they had good games. Egypt went to Senegal. They won 1-0 thanks to our own goal.
Yeah.
They went to
in
Egypt.
the 4th minute.
Yeah, they went to Egypt. It was our own goal as well.
In the 4th minute.
I mean, come on. But they had a good game. I hate that it had to be them, but goat for goat. Goat for goat.
Goat for goat. Goat for goat. Speaking of goat for goat, you were very dismissive of the fact that we were very much fans of Messi in the previous episode.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one actually.
In his group, he's got Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. You expect him to go through, but what are your predictions of the World Cup?
In general,
and for the GOAT himself, Cristiano?
Well, semi-final would be a success for Portugal, I think. The final would be a step further. Anything less than that, I mean, especially with Bruno Fernandes in the team, Jota in the team, you know.
Because these guys,
Pepe's still there.
Payne and Roger.
Diaz is in the team.
Exactly. You mentioning some very solid players that not only can they play for Ronaldo, but have the quality to also go win it themselves.
Yeah.
And they were mentioning last week that Argentina kind of have a team that they feel that wanted for Messi. Don't you see a similar thing maybe in the Portugal squad?
Well, yeah, maybe, but I mean, the Portuguese squad is it's a different squad, to be honest. It has changed. I mean, it's much stronger. There's a lot of quality players in the team that play for big teams. I mean, like Man United, Liverpool, all those teams. I mean,
sorry.
you're saying, yeah, I mean,
can you rephrase the big teams again?
I mean, Liverpool is quite a huge team, to be honest. In the past,
Yeah, we know that.
3 years or something. So, I mean, yeah, I expect Argentina to reach quarterfinal. Anything above that, I mean,
so
they've outperformed.
But do you think they can win it?
Argentina,
as these men predicted that they.
I don't think so. I mean, Messi is just one player, to be honest. And you can't expect Messi to actually score a lot of goals in the tournament.
Yeah.
You can expect him to create goals, but to score, I mean, to win matches.
Speaking of,
it's not his thing.
If you say
it's not really his thing.
If you say that he needs to create goals, then who's the person to finish those goals?
That's the thing.
Me on ask, yeah. Recently, Ballon d'Or winners, how are they counted? Or what do you need to be a Ballon d'Or winner?
Well, to be the best player in the world.
And what do you need to do to be the best player in the world?
International and
no, but ideally it's to score goals.
It's to score goals.
Exactly.
And you're telling me Messi with 7 Ballon d'Ors?
It's not really to score goals because Modric has got a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but that was just
to be that player who outperforms everyone
in an entire football season.
Yeah,
but mostly based on
mostly.
Otherwise, Manuel Neuer could have won the Ballon d'Or. We could have so many players.
So we could have had defenders who won Ballon d'Or.
So that's my check: is how you expecting Messi to say how you say Messi can create chances? Yes, he can create. He's an all-rounder, but to say Messi is not a finisher, a striker, he's not gonna bang.
He's definitely
he's not gonna bang.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna score, but he's not gonna win like critical matches, like where the defense is solid, where everyone is just marking the ball. I mean,
but then if
this is Messi. Don't forget, this is Messi.
He can only do so much. He can make the pass. He can make the pass. He can create something.
Sure.
But someone has to score.
Same for Ronaldo. Same for anyone.
No, but Ronaldo is different. Ronaldo can go in the box.
Then how is he gonna get the ball? He's expecting a pass.
Exactly.
That's
why you have Bruno Fernandes. You have
someone's gonna give you a pass.
You have Cancelo there.
Someone's gonna give you a pass.
But you don't expect Messi to be on the end of the.
Messi's a whole round.
He creates.
All right.
But he's also a finisher.
Let's
all around. He's also a finisher.
All round.
Messi does not just score goals.
He's all round. That's my check.
This is Messi.
I'm just saying, when you need a goal, you don't necessarily look at Messi.
You look at Messi.
You look at his creativity. You look at his
creativity is gonna give him a goal. He might pass at the end, but he's gonna get him back.
I don't know.
Let's not turn this into a Messi Ronaldo discussion.
I'm not sure about that
because it can slowly turn into that. Looking at other groups, I expect Spain to go through. They've got Germany and Poland and.
Did you check Group D there?
Group D.
Yeah, Group D.
Group D also expect France and probably Denmark to go through.
France, Denmark, Tunisia.
I think you should give Tunisia a chance. I mean,
and then there's the IC playoff,
which is I think.
Sometimes we have to be realistic, guys.
But you have to give them a chance. I'm just saying.
We both Group D is Denmark and France. Start. Christian Eriksen is gonna come in hot.
They're pretty much.
But which is the 4th team there? Because it's France, it's Denmark, and it's Tunisia.
It's what is this?
The playoffs that need to happen, which are between.
I'm not sure who the
Australia.
I think it's Australian Peru. Yeah, Australian Peru.
Okay.
Either Australia and Peru are going to play those games.
Okay, then we can see that there's France and
it's pretty much obvious. It's pretty much obvious.
Yeah, regardless of who joins.
I think
Going France and Denmark.
a challenging one may be Group F: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. I don't know.
What's challenging about that?
I think because you look at Canada. Canada, it's gonna
Now
be.
let's be realistic.
No, it's not about.
I'm not looking
Sometimes
at Canada, nothing.
the problem with every World Cup is that we tend to look at it and focus on solely the big teams going all the way, and that's not always the story. There's always those 2 or 3 teams that create a surprise within the entire tournament. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying in that group, I see potential of
Canada
team.
being the
Canada-
underdogs.
Not Canada. They can be the underdogs and get knocked out in the round of 16.
They get knocked out group stage.
They can go through with Belgium,
But their momentum is good at the moment.
There's Croatia. Don't
Canada,
forget
Canada,
Croatia
not
now.
in the group. Canada, not
Can-
in the
Canada-
group. Canada, not in the
they
group.
may not leave the group. Morocco.
Morocco
So
definitely not as well.
it's
Well, you
going
expect
to-
Belgium and Croatia to go through,
Yeah,
but
Croatia.
Morocco might be in the mix.
Nah.
Morocco
I don't think so. I think
Let's be
Morocco,
realistic.
they get a bit of cold feet.
But they might be in the mix, you know.
They might be in the mix. You never know.
Especially if you draw against one of the big teams. So.
You guys are not being realistic, guys.
What?
Let's look at the past round of 16 of the World Cup.
Oh.
Has Croatia not been a part of it?
Yeah,
They have. Has Belgium not been a part of it?
they had.
Let's just be realistic. They're consistent
But
with their
wasn't
shit.
Italy being in the World Cup consistent? Then all of a sudden,
Italy last World Cup were they?
I'm just saying. Basically, I'm just saying you can quote history, but at some things end.
Yeah, but last season Croatia, where was Croatia? Top round of 16. Quarterfinal, didn't they get a quarterfinals?
All I'm saying is that anything is possible.
Yeah, but
This
not Canada.
This
Okay.
Tell one player from Canada.
Alfonso Davies.
Alfonso, that's the
I'm
only
going to
player.
take
That's the
the
only
team
player.
to round of 16.
Hey man, nobody thought who's this Alaba would take Austria to Euros, but he did.
Yeah, but the way they
Some
how did it go?
nations are carried by one man, and it does happen, man.
Yeah, that's Euro. Now this is World Cup. Everyone, Brazil, Argentina,
Speaking
the
of
African
Brazil.
boys.
Speaking of Brazil, I will go through, but I just wanted to focus on players that I feel like are they quality, but they will be missing a World Cup. You look at someone who's a winner like Jorginho. You come from a Chelsea squad that won, the Champions League, the Super Cup. You went on international and won Euros. You went to the finals you went to the semi-finals of the Euro Nations League, but then you're not going to a World Cup. You look at Haaland, who's this emerging young striker who's banging goals and is next in line to compete with like Mbappe and all these young players, but he's also not going to a World Cup. It must kind of stink right now for being those players right now.
Nah.
What? Why?
Okay, maybe not for Haaland. I think he's young, so we still have plenty of World Cups to grow with him.
Yeah, he at least for him, he has that window of saying there's still a World Cup or two for me left in the window.
But also, he plays for Norway.
No, sure.
Yeah.
He's like the Lewandowski of Norway, Poland. But okay, sharp.
But Haaland
Haaland
are in the World Cup,
Yeah.
so you can't argue them not also at some point making it. So you can't just say he plays for Norway.
Yeah.
anything is possible, like I said at the end of the day.
Definitely, they could catch a World Cup here and there. Good for them. But like I said, we still have plenty of World Cups to grow with Haaland. Salah not making the World Cup at 28, 29. Tricky.
Yeah, very, very tricky.
Jorginho, it happens.
Yeah,
Like it happens.
Jorginho, it kind of does happen. And for Salah right now, it's that thing of, if he had been in the World Cup and competed, I think it would have solidified
his place for the Ballon d'Or.
the place for the Ballon d'Or. Now that's completely gone. I think whatever he can do this season, he still won't play Ballon d'Or. He still won't get Ballon d'Or, sorry.
Yeah, he won't get Ballon d'Or, but he's in the top 3. He won't be there. He should be.
No.
Based on this season, the season is we're still competing in the league. We're still competing in the FA Cup. We're still competing in the Champions League.
Okay.
He could win all 3.
He's out of the World Cup.
Yeah, but he's out of the World Cup. But he could win all 4. you could have 4 trophies at the end of the
He
season.
could have a quadruple by the end of the season.
Top
But
goal
there's no
scorer
one
and
is going to
everything.
be a World Cup winner. A World Cup competitor.
I think if Salah does the quadruple,
It puts him up there.
It does put him up there. It puts him in a.
Maybe top 5, I think.
It puts him in strong contention, but I also don't think they'll still put him in the top 3, man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Mane is there as well. Mane is in all 4 now. The quadruple and the World Cup.
Speaking of which, yeah, Mane is in the contention
Talking
for
about Salah,
quadruple,
Mane is
and
in
he's
all
going to
4.
the World Cup. And if
He's a black man.
VVD is in all 4 still.
VVD's
Van
on
Dijk is in all 4.
he's going to the World Cup final.
Now,
Finals, I mean.
I'm hearing your chats, but now VVD is a defender. Let's push those chats aside.
Oh yeah,
Let's
Top
put those chats.
nominated.
Top 3. Is he gonna make top 3?
he's not gonna make top 3.
He's
As a
not
defender,
gonna
you're
make
not
top
making top 3 for a Ballon
If
d'Or.
you meet top 3 as a keeper, what's stopping VVD?
Trust
Come
me,
on,
man.
man.
Who do you think will take it now? It's going to be Mbappe. Haaland is not even in the picture now because of, his team is out. So it's going to be Mbappe, VVD if he takes the quadruple. All 4. Okay,
Salah
now.
more than anything.
Salah for what? He didn't go to the World
he's
Cup.
gonna score the goals.
I'm including World Cup.
But Salah needs to be in my top 3. He needs to be in the top 3.
If he makes it to semi-finals, he's going to have a better chance than Salah.
No, it's
If he makes it to the semi-finals of the World Cup, Netherlands, it's
semi-finals.
not even quarter.
Semi-finals. Oh.
Salah didn't even make it past qualifying.
But the thing is, Salah gives us goals, and that's the thing we look at.
Mane also gives goals.
Mane
Not
also
including
gives
Mane in the
goals.
picture. Mane also
But
gives
my challenge with Mane is that he's a black.
Salah's
African
also
man.
a black man.
He's an African.
Salah's more
He's an
marketable.
African.
He's
He's
more
an
marketable.
He's an African.
Marketable.
Well,
He's more
He's
marketable.
an African.
it kind of stinks for
Didier
him.
Drogba was black and he was very marketable, you know.
Exactly.
Speaking of, he was very marketable. I'll be also
Samuel
Sadio
Eto'o.
Mane is kind of marketable. Samuel Eto'o was marketable also.
I mean,
Ginger
that's-
culture.
we had a few. We had a few, but this right now is Mo Salah's moment. And whether he didn't make it to the World Cup, but if we win a Champions League or the Premier League, he should make top 3. He's been excellent throughout the whole season.
True.
True. No.
Even at the beginning of the season, there were debates like, why didn't he make the previous list of Ballon d'Or contenders?
No, that's true.
But what's his influence on the team? I mean,
What do you mean?
is he scoring goals? Is he scoring crucial goals?
He is scoring crucial goals.
I mean, in the final or semi-final,
We need to stop this thing of saying crucial goals are only goals scored in like a semi-final or like in the last minute. A crucial goal can be anything. A crucial goal could be a second goal that kills off the game. A crucial goal can be, like you always hear, but Arsenal just need that final. It could be a third goal that literally settles the game over. So a crucial goal is not only like a semi-final or a final goal. So, and Salah has that in him. So if you're going to ask the question that, does he have crucial goals in him? I would say yes, he has crucial goals in him. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But moving on from that, this week we just found out that Bruno Fernandes signed a new contract with Manchester United until 2026. Wages increased to 240k a week. What's your thoughts as a Manchester United fan, especially as like what is your analysis of his career at Manchester United so far to a point where you guys are giving him a new contract?
Well, I think the first season he was very influential.
Yeah.
This season he's been very average, and
I'm
he's
not saying maybe the past 2 seasons been. Yes, he was influential last season, but I also think he was quite average too last season.
maybe you could say that he's not critical to the style of play of Man United, but he's influential. You need him in the team to make that final pass or final cross or something like that. But to say that he's critical, I wouldn't say he's really critical to Man United.
Your thoughts on Bruno?
I think he's very critical. I mean, before Bruno, they lacked the link-up play between the defense and the striker. Bruno came in, you started scoring goals now. I think he's very critical. He signed a new contract, good for him. There was no else he was going to go. But
I think it was a good move. I think also for United, it now protects his value, because if they continue to struggle as they are right now, I don't see him at United beyond 2024.
I mean, Pogba is important to Man United, but he's leaving, I think, we need Pogba more than Bruno Fernandes.
You believe you need Pogba more than Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah, for sure.
What are you laughing
I
at?
agree. I mean,
like,
for sure.
Like Pogba has been there for 5 years
For sure.
now.
Yes.
And every single year they say, yeah, Pogba's coming back. Pogba's coming back. You're yet to see the best of Pogba. It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years since you broke the transfer record to
Okay, let's say he goes to Man City or Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Mhm.
We all expect him to perform.
Yeah.
And for sure.
And he's going to perform.
And he
Without a
is.
doubt.
And he is.
Without a doubt.
He is going to perform.
So I'd rather keep him at Man United, you know?
But then he doesn't want to sign a new
The problem
contract.
is Man United.
Yeah, I
The
guess you
problem
can
you
say so.
believe is Man
It's
United.
Man United.
Why do you believe Man United are the problem?
Man United and the coach, everybody from Man United since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they believe they're above the team. And Sir Alex Ferguson had this theory, nobody's above the team.
Nobody's
That's why
above
he fought with Beckham and all that shit. Nobody's
Yeah.
above the team. But Ronaldo, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho, everyone, they believe, Maguire,
Yeah.
especially, they believe they're above the team. They don't look at the history of United and where United has come from. That's why Pogba, him leaving, is the best decision
Decision.
that could happen to him.
Yeah, I think for his career, he needs to leave Manchester United.
Yeah, he needs to be disciplined as a player. Well, okay, no, I'm not above this team. This team has been winning everything they've been winning.
So I'm not their savior.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not saying I'm just here to help them win.
I'm just enough of the Premier League now. Back to let's speak about the PSL because two important topics. Benni McCarthy just got fired, and there's links to SuperSport. What do you guys make of that? I think the next move should be Bafana and joining the coaching staff. I don't know
Orlando Pirates.
why Orlando Pirates.
Since Benny came back to South Africa from England,
Europe rather.
Europe.
Yeah.
Okay. The first team he played for when he came back was Orlando Pirates. And when he played for Orlando Pirates, they won a treble in that season.
Facts.
That's fact. His discipline is way beyond South African disciplinary.
But what?
So
what,
him come to Pirates needs that discipline for them to actually be a contending team against Sunderland.
But what? And I'm not judging him, but what as a manager has he done to prove or warrant the coaching position at Orlando Pirates?
Amazulu, when he was coaching, what number were they? Top 3.
They made
Number
second.
2 with Benny as the coach.
They made second and they went to CAF.
Amazulu has been a hot team before Benny, but they weren't that hard to compete for top 3. Not even top 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe top 3. Let me get to top 3. So
Even
the factory,
even at Cape Town City, I think he was doing a good job. I was shocked.
he made a huge difference. Sure.
He won the NTN8
Yeah.
at Cape Town City.
Yeah, okay. So I was shocked with the signing, but Benny, Pirates at a stage where they need a coach.
They need discipline.
They need a coach who's gonna bring in a different mentality now.
Sure, a winning mentality.
A different level of professionalism. So yeah, Benny's the man to go. I don't see anyone else. I don't see any other PSL coach right now doing that. And European wise, we don't need a European coach. Right?
You don't need a European.
We don't
You think?
need.
I mean, yeah, the UEFA certificate, if I'm not mistaken, the accolades do speak for themselves. I mean, to go to Cape Town City and win the MTN8 says a lot about you. It says a lot about you as a manager to take a team, especially Amazulu. Everyone would expect you to do it like the top 4 teams, which is the Soweto Giants and then the 2 Giants from Pretoria. But to do it at Cape Town City and then also to take Amazulu into the top 3 of the league and then go to CAF. I think I slightly do agree with you guys. I think maybe a seat at one of the biggest teams in the country is possible.
He could win a PSL, a DSTV.
Did you believe he can win a premiership for Orlando Pirates?
Sure.
Definitely.
Sure.
2 trophies that season.
Sure.
First
Really?
season, 2 trophies.
As a
I don't
Sundowns
see
fan,
it. To be honest, I don't see it.
as a Sundowns fan,
Maybe number 2. Let's
You're a
finish.
Sundowns fan.
Yeah,
That's why.
maybe
no, but I want you to.
NetBank Cup, you know.
You hate him. So
Not
Sundowns.
Not necessarily. I mean, like, it's very hard to beat Sundowns at the moment, to be honest. I mean,
But it's possible.
Consistently, I mean.
Yeah,
But it's possible.
It's possible. You can't deny that it's possible, but at the moment, it does take someone like a coach like Benni at Orlando Pirates instilling a different mentality within the players and saying, well, yes, they do have the money, they do have the better players, but it doesn't mean that we can't win the league. It just goes with setting up your team right, having the right mentality, and throughout the entire season to win a league title. You guys can crumble also.
But he hasn't qualified for the quarterfinals now with Amazulu in the CAF.
Yeah, but look, Amazon made it to CAF.
Amazulu made it to CAF.
Well, I guess that's an achievement, but
That's a great achievement.
That's a great achievement.
Amazon made it to CAF.
Yeah, but I'm still not really convinced with Benni McCarthy, to be honest.
And then sticking to the PSL, I had a rumor today. Peter Shalilile to Leicester. Do you believe it?
I don't believe it at all. I think it's just big cap. But
Okay.
yeah, if the move were to happen, it would be a great move.
It would definitely be a great move. But
He's not South African. He's not South African.
No, he's not South
Yeah,
African,
but-
but he's playing in the PSL, so it does grab our attention.
He's African.
He's African, 30 goals in the last two PSL season and counting.
Who is the top goal scorer for South Africa? South African top goal scorer.
That's it, Peter Shalilile.
Peter Shalilile is Namibian.
He's Namibian.
Oh, South African straight.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Isn't it
Victor Letwalo, who plays for Royal
the
A.
Royal AM, the Royal AM guy?
Yep.
But just before we wrap up the show, I was watching an interview with Gavin Hunt yesterday, and they asked him who he thinks the biggest underachiever in football, and he said Kermit Erasmus, and he'll tell it to his face. He feels like he has the talent and everything, but then he feels like as a kid he was spoiled, he would not train, come in the weekend, score a hat-trick. But who do you think is the biggest, name any two players that you feel are the biggest overachievers in football?
Underachievers.
Underachievers in football.
Okay, I don't think in terms of being spoiled, but I think they go for one. They go Modise for one. Yeah, he in his career, what he was supposed to be was he didn't reach that height. You played football, yes, you were a golden boy, but you deserve so much more. So much more could have came from his career. And then Europe wise, I must say Neymar. And that's a big thing since he was like 19, but okay.
And now he's about what? He's about to reach 30 and he's still the next big thing. So it's yeah. What about you, Jimmy? Who do you think
I say Cavani.
Edison Cavani
Should score more.
But then you have to take factor in that Edison Cavani right now at United, he's injury prone. You can't get.
He's also old, man.
He's also old. He's like 34, 35 right now. What are you expecting out of him now?
More goals. That's straightforward. More goals.
But when a player's injury prone,
At his age,
Zlatan
Zlatan couldn't even do it.
And what makes you think Edison Cavani can do it?
I think he could score 30 goals consistently, easily. I mean, his ability is very.
But this is the Premier League.
This is the Premier League. I mean, look at Ronaldo now. He's even struggling to hit 15.
Yeah, but that's like the whole team not actually performing.
All right.
If you look at the league table.
True, but also counting his injuries. Injuries count because it's games that you're not playing.
It's games that you're not playing. But besides Cavani, who else do you think is underachiever?
I was gonna say Partey.
Thomas Partey from.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say Neymar as well.
Neymar.
I agree with Neymar. I mean.
Yes, it's been the next big thing for the longest time. And still hasn't. Roger, who do you think are the biggest underachievers in football right now?
First person I'm gonna start with is Pato, Alexander Pato. Pato, since he left AC Milan,
There was the Chelsea move also that literally did nothing.
like his depth just went down, and he's a great striker.
He's a great
You
striker.
could look at him and be like, okay, you're gonna make a change. But unfortunately, underachiever vibes, we can't say anything.
Who else?
Number two, Neymar. Neymar, coming back to him being spoiled. Okay, I understand, came from a tough background, but once he became that
Neymar.
thing in Brazil,
Yeah.
once he started playing for Santos,
Yeah.
he just got a big head. Or okay, I'm the best player.
I wouldn't say maybe
Missing
it's.
other players.
I wouldn't say maybe you got the big head at Santos, but I think at Barcelona, that's where when you start playing with Neymar, you get more confidence. I think that's where he got the big head. But for me, I would say Ramadal Falcao.
Falcao.
I would say Ramadal Falcao.
Yeah.
I mean, you had two big moves. You went from Atletico. Where did you go after Atletico?
She went
ACL
to
Chelsea.
she went to didn't make them.
Man United was there.
Did
He went to Man
Chelsea.
United.
He went to Man U, move. Then he went to.
And then he was at Chelsea on loan also for some time. But I think those loan moves came while he was at AS Monaco. Didn't they come up at AS Monaco?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. But honestly, I'd have to agree with you guys. I think Neymar, if we all agree, I think Neymar is the biggest underachiever in world football.
Yep.
I mean, ever since he came in, he's been like this, like we said, the next big thing. He's been
For the longest
time. He's been there in the top 3 for the Ballon d'Or. When he made the move from Barcelona to PSG, we were like, okay, yeah, here you're making the move where you're gonna be the star of the team, as Messi was the star of Barcelona, Ronaldo was the star of Madrid. Yeah, you have a superstar team where you can be the player, and it hasn't quite materialized. There's just been injuries after injuries. So yeah, I have to agree. Do you agree? Neymar is the biggest.
Definitely, yeah.
Neymar is the biggest. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here on the Football Chats on 18 Yard. Neymar is the biggest underachiever in world football. That has been the 18 Yard Chats Football Podcast. My brother Payne. Another week, a 4th episode.
Always together.
Jimmy Nape, yeah, nice to see you, man. Hey, man,
Yeah, you know.
after high school, we usually make McDonald's.
you know.
No, but otherwise, man, thank you for showing us love. We reached 500 episodes on all, 500 views on all 3 episodes. Right now, we're on 56 subscribers, so please continue showing us love. We love you too. This has been the 18 Yard Football Chat Podcast. Cut the cameras.
Bunny,